शिल्पा मैम,
थोड़ा कैमरा पीछे ले, मैं जूम कर रहा हूँ। पांडे
शिल्पा मैम,
मैम फ्रेम में आऊँ बोलूँगा।
वन मोर मैम,
अरे बाय बाय।
मैम रवि हो नाम यो सेंटर डन डन एक मिनट स्टे का होने देना भाई
ओ आ गई आप
खाली बस मदी है
मुझे लगता है कि इस किस्म के इवेंट्स जो होते हैं वो बहुत ही इनकरेजिंग होते हैं महिलाओं के लिए जो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का रास्ता चुनना चाहते हैं। यहाँ पे जो डेलिब्रेशंस होते हैं, डिस्कशंस होते हैं, एक कॉन्वर्सेशन शुरू हो जाता है गवर्नमेंट के साथ भी। और आज के जो सेशन में, सुबह वाले सेशन में मुझे पता चला कि ऑब्वियसली महाराष्ट्र का जो गवर्नमेंट है हमारा, फडणवीस साहब ने उनका रिप्रेजेंटेटिव जो भेजा आज, दे सेड दैट यू नो दे वांट टू नो कि हम क्या सोचते हैं विमेन इन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप को कैसे और बढ़ाया जाए, किन चीज़ों के साथ हम इम्प्रूवमेंट लेके आ सकते हैं। उनका इंटेंशन बहुत अच्छा है और नेक है। और आपका हाथ दर्द कर रहा है
नो मैम
तो छोड़ो मैं पकड़ लेती हूँ। मैं योगा करती हूँ ना, योगा शुरू करती हूँ। तो नहीं मैं ठीक हूँ। तो I just think that I encourage this entire congregation, and it's great. Ficci has come together, and GES, and we've got huge support even from the US, so it's wonderful. I'm standing here with such powerful women.
Also, Shilpa ji, first of all, congratulations for completing 24 years in film industry.
Yeah.
You have really come a long way, and
Yes.
being a important part of film fraternity. Do you think the era has come that now the freedom of speech and expression of directors or of people are being hindered? Like example, many fringe groups are protesting against Padmavati. So, do you think the freedom of speech and expression is being hindered?
Yeah, I sometimes do feel that democracy has its pros and cons, and I would want I really believe that in life everything happens for the best, but my heart goes out to the makers who put so much of blood and sweat into making a film. For a layman it just takes them 2 minutes to come out and give us a verdict, but seeing this lunatic fringe suddenly stand up and protesting, someone who belongs to the milieu of movies, I really think that living in a democracy, as long as it's not hurting someone's dignity, not putting down someone, and as long as cinema's language is not being misused, I think people should be allowed creative freedom. But that's my opinion, and I think I can make use of this, my democracy. But yeah, that's about all. I don't want to spark off any controversy. I'm the same person who had effigies of mine burning when Richard Gere kissed me on my cheek. So I mean, what do I say? Yeah.
Also, people and your fans have been waiting to see you back on silver screen. When can we find Shilpa?
Well, I think I'm doing my fair share of being on screen, whether it be big or small, it really doesn't matter. I'm on YouTube. We have more number of mobile users than TV users or even cinema goers in this country. So I think I've taken a different route. I've taken the route of spreading good health, and at least ways and means of having good health. And I think that for me is better and bigger karma, because I've been part of the industry for 24 years, as you said. My identity comes from movies. I miss them. But yes, I mean, unless it's really worth my while, I don't think I'm going to change what I'm doing right now.
Also, you yourself is entrepreneur. So, you yourself is an entrepreneur, of course. So, according to you, what position does women hold in India and how it can be improved?
Well, I think we are becoming a more egalitarian world, and I can definitely see women, standing up for themselves. Definitely, the conditioning has started to change, because as children we are conditioned to believe that, or not us, I'm talking about the grassroots level. They're conditioned to believe that they're just supposed to get married, and education isn't that important, and they're just meant to look after their families, not even look after themselves as much as their families. That's the conditioning, and I just think that from the grassroots level we need to change that. We need to empower women from there to kind of see that change happen, and you will. So I can see that change slowly, steadily happening, but surely. Yeah.
You are an inspiration though.
Oh, thank you.
Madam, our session has to begin, please. We are getting late for the session.
One more, ma'am.
Thank you.
शिल्पा मैम इधर शिल्पा मैम शिल्पा मैम आपके लेफ्ट में
On your right, ma'am.
Ma'am, here.
Thank you.
How much effort you put in, and on however many fronts you put on, there will always be less. With abysmal statistics related to female infanticide and a marriage system that basically favors entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship and womanhood in general, with a beautiful looking woman, a looker, a dreamer, a doer, Shilpa Shetty. She is a living example right in front of our eyes. Shilpa, 24 years. Tell me your defense mechanism, the way you deal with things. How have you sustained, survived, grown and excelled at being the brand Shilpa Shetty that you are?
Is it still morning? Yes. Very good afternoon to everyone present. I'm actually in August's company. Girl power. This is us.
Yes.
I don't know if I really could contrive it. I never did. I just lived life. The only one thing that I've done constantly and consistently is never stop learning. I still feel like I'm a student. It's people like you that remind me, and I've been reminded over the last 3 days constantly that it's been 24 years, because Bazigar completed 24 years 3 days ago. But I never even thought that it's been such a long journey. I'm still trying to relearn and redo the things that I think I know, because I think I can do them better. So I think that's what's kept me going. Answering your second question, brand Shilpa. I take that as a huge compliment. I, again, never thought that I'd set out to becoming this brand that has some kind of weight. I'm an actor first, but today people see me as a catalyst in the field of health and wellness, and I prefer to be known as that more than for my acting abilities that I'm trying to, I've got selective amnesia. But I'm very proud that I come from that milieu, and that is my first identity. But I really believe that it's never too late to kind of change lanes and realize what your calling is. And I think I learned pretty late, but I believe that it's better late than never, that my passion lies in spreading knowledge about health. Not that I'm a know-it-all, but out of my own experiences, out of the meetings that I've had with various people that have come up to me, and more of them kind of complimenting me on the way I have, you know, maneuvered my life or my body, or you know, what my thought process is, what my diet is. People were intrigued with stuff like that. And Sadhviji and I were having this whole conversation that, you know, people think that you're happy and they want to kind of emulate you because you're so glamorous. But they don't know that what makes you the person you are and what makes you appealing is the joy that you get from the peace that you have within. And that truly is the truth. And it couldn't have been better put because she knows me. I've had the opportunity to spend some time with her. So whilst I look very glamorous, I don't think, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who are pretty successful and well-to-do and, you know, they have it all going for them. But sometimes there's something missing. And I just think that what a lot of people have missing in the midst of everything that they have is a bit of alignment. And I just feel like it's become my duty to kind of tell people how easy it is to align yourself. Because once you're aligned with your mind, body, soul, life becomes so much more easier. I mean, it's perfectly normal to break down sometimes, you know, in this fast-paced, goal-oriented mindset that we all have now. It's perfectly normal to kind of step back and think, you know, where am I, what am I doing? So answering another part of that question, how do you keep it going? I think we have to sit and get a little introspective when we say, you know, I'm tired, I am fed up, I'm so lonely, I'm so sad, you know, I'm so hardworking but I'm not getting success. My I ams are very different. I am strong, I am powerful, I am someone who is a survivor, I am proud, I am a woman. Those are my I ams, and that is consistent. And I am a believer. So I think whatever be the situations, I've been through many ups and many lows. The one thing that will be in my inner monologue and on my mouth, in my heart, will be the same. And I think that comes through yoga. My I ams are very positive.
Nice.
So yeah, so that's how I've survived it. So I was this thin, rocky, dark girl. Some of those pictures had also made it on the internet and they went viral. And people thought that, you know, I've changed my color. And I just want to set the record straight. I used to be a state-level volleyball player, so I spent like nearly 5 or 6 hours in the sun every day. So I turned like some 12 shades darker. But saying that, I really think that the world over, people don't just go for looks, they definitely go for matter. And that's what matters the most.
Okay, and let's talk about yoga. Yoga has been a very important thing in your personal life and has transformed you as a person. And you have used yoga that arouses a lot of curiosity about India, world over, to your advantage as well. How has your association been with yoga over the past so many years, and has given you also a new kind of image?
I think I've used yoga to the fullest. And yes, you're right, I've had many benefits with yoga, mentally, physically, I think soulfully. And I just wanted to make sure that if people ask me how I do it, this is the route to take. And there is no other way to do it. So yeah, I have taken that route. And like you very rightly said, the world over has kind of adapted to yoga and looks up to yoga. But I just feel like, I think 10 years ago when I did my first DVD, there wasn't that much appreciation for yoga. I mean, we come from a country from where yoga hails from, but we don't have that kind of respect for it. We suddenly have respect for it when Madonna does it. So I just felt, and also there was this thing about yoga is for old people. So I was like, I really wanted to debunk, those preconceived notions, and it's made a huge difference to my life. I think it brings about a certain stillness in this constant motion that we call life. So why wouldn't I want to propagate it?
Yeah. And talking about the 4 Fs that don't go wrong as a business proposition: food, films, fitness, fashion. You have had your hands deep into all 4 of them for a really, really long time. Do you think so?
I think we somewhere invariably dabble with these 4 Fs. Yes, I have got my hands dirty. Belonging to this milieu. But you learn from experiences, and I just think that with experiences it gives you a bit of maturity, and you can't buy experience. So what I used to look like 24 years ago, and my confidence with those experiences has changed the kind of dresser I am, what I speak, how I'm turned out. Yeah, and I think this is the age of social media where all these things really matter.
Yeah, and talking about social media, she is so active. She's one of those very few women who saw power of social media much early in life, and she was one of those persons who had her own YouTube channel, her own website way earlier than your other contemporaries had. You are a far-sighted person. Are you in touch with the future trends and where the technology is going and where the world is going?
I don't know about that. I just think that I've always wanted to be a trendsetter in life, whether it be, style or whatever I want to be remembered as. I just think that it's just simple maths that in a country of 1 billion people we have, I think the statistics say that we have around maybe 167 TVs, but then we have some 650 SIM card users, and then we have another 400 odd internet users. So why not the digital way? I mean, it's just not rocket science. And taking it from there, I also, I started cooking on YouTube because I wanted, I really feel like I'm an old soul in a new body, which we all are, which we don't kind of resign to. But I'm this very old soul in this so-called young body, I want to call myself. But I feel like this generation is steering towards aping the West. There's nothing wrong with the West. I think there's a lot that we can take from them. They're very driven, they're very focused. You can't go meet them without an appointment. I think we should do those things. But when it comes to being culturally bound, spiritually anchored, going back to doing things from scratch, something as simple as cooking. I don't know why we order, my manager will scream at me if I take the name of an aerated drink, so I'll just say aerated drink. So we order an aerated drink, or we treat our children with junk food, making it aspirational, making it seem like, oh, it's a great thing. You are being rewarded for something with junk food. So your child is being inculcated with these bad eating values. When home-style cooking and Indian cooking is the most healthy for your systems, I don't know why you can't, while we emphasize so much on values and touching our parents' feet, and we make sure that our children does a namaste when an elder enters the house. How's that we don't pay so much importance or emphasis on eating habits? So I have a huge problem with that. And then I feel this generation is so busy working, me too, that we feel that Indian cooking is very cumbersome. So resort to ready-made foods. We're not reading the back, we're not reading at the back of the packs. Label reading is so important. While we're all so educated, make use of that education. You know they've written that it's got bad sugars, but you will still buy it. And it's so easy to cook quick, healthy meals. So I wanted to show people that if I can do it, and if I can cook a meal for my child and my family in 5 minutes, you can too. So my entire tryst with cooking happened because I also enjoy cooking. I just felt that maybe if I could play a catalyst in changing the mindset of the younger generation, and people maybe are also scared to go into the kitchen and say that, oh, okay, I don't know how to cook. I'm not saying that, I am Nigella Lawson. I'm just saying that if I can cook, so can you. And I wanted people to be encouraged to get into the kitchen and dabble with Indian food and our spices and ghee and coconut oil and all the great stuff that we have.
But that is a popular perception. Do you girls cook in your houses, and do you think cooking is mostly restricted to women and men should also cook a little more often? Do you think so?
See, my YouTube channel is up for one and all. Even the men can also learn.
Yeah.
It's also for single men.
Yes. I went through a couple of your recipes. They were simple and men and women could both do it.
Yes.
And cooking is also something that needs a different narrative in India. We think that cooking is only a woman's job. By the way, tell me, how much does your husband help you in cooking?
He is a very good cook. So when we have a home in London, when we are in London, khudi malik, khudi nogar, so he does the cooking. So the breakfast is his department. I will cook the lunch, and sometimes if I don't want to cook, I'll say I'm on a holiday. Let's go out. So yeah, but he does cook.
Yeah, he does. So you have a website, you have a YouTube channel, you're into yoga, you're into so many different things. What do you tell women? What is the perfect strategy for multitasking? What time do you start your day? What time does it end? How do you keep yourself? Just give us a few tips.
Don't go by my day, you'll be really disillusioned. My day is, 24 hours is less, but I'm a workaholic. I love what I do. I think that's what keeps me going. Like I said, I'm passionate about what I do. I throw myself into wherever I am at that moment. So if I'm at home, my manager knows I will not respond to emails because it's my time with my son. Luckily for me, he's 5.5 now, so he's doing school for like 5 hours. So I get that time in the day when I'm not shooting, which goes on for like 12 hours. But I pace my days out. It's very clear that there'll always be a gap between my work, making sure that I have qualitative time with my child, with my family, because that is my priority. All the rest can come and go. So maybe I'm a little old school there, very middle class.
Somewhere, I was reading one of your interviews on in a print magazine or somewhere. You said the last meal a woman should have is ideally 2.5 hours before she goes to sleep. So that is a nice quick tip.
Yes.
And if followed nicely, we can do so well with regards to our health and fitness. And these are very important things because women in India, in fact everywhere, they are prone to a lot of diseases, a lot of illness, a lot of health issues. And women need to be very, very particular about their own health if they want to keep the family happy and healthy. So give us a few tips.
Well, I can't let go of this opportunity. I think most importantly, I have to announce that I'm coming up with an app, which is going to be primarily a health app. It's the first time any celebrity Indian has done something like this. So it'll be like a one-stop shop to good health and wellness. And you can actually log in and figure out what you want to do, how you want to lose weight, whether you want a tighter butt or you want to figure out your loose arms. There will be programs suited for your body type with your ailments. If you want to go through an inch loss or a fat loss program, you have a 21-day targeted program. You'll get push notifications telling you, lazy, wake up, you have to work out today. So, and with a consolidated nutrition weekly diet plan, making sure that you're ensuring that you're going to be eating the right food, because it all goes hand in hand. I hate the word diet, because I feel with diet comes this whole preconceived notion of tasteless food, oilless food, bland food. So I really want people to understand it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle modification. That's what I've made in my life. And a lot of people know about my Sunday binges now. I want to prove to people it's not to show off that I'm eating a rasgulla. I mean, what am I going to get out of doing that? It's to show to show people that I enjoy my life. I'm not craving to eat something sweet, and then you crave so much that your cortisol levels are, going higher, and your metabolism is slowing down, which is why most people don't lose weight. You see a lot of people struggling to lose weight because you're keeping very long hours between their meals. So your body is a machine, and your mind is the hard disk. So your hard disk is now telling your body, okay, you're not going to feed me, so now I have to store fat to make sure that I function. So it's the worst thing to do. So just figure out your meals, and when I say eat 2.5 hours before going to bed, or 3 hours preferably, I don't eat anything after 8 o'clock. Unless like dire straits and you're on the road, you're traveling. Even then I always have like a small package of nuts in my bag. And I'm a mother, so I'll always carry something in my bag. They'll be like, it's like a Pandora's box, you'll find everything. So I think also very importantly, if you want to start losing weight or feeling healthy, chew your food. I don't know why we have started gobbling down food. I mean, these are such simple things. You forget giving people a diet plan. Basics. Ayurveda has given us 32 teeth, they say. So, not Ayurveda, but God has given us 32 teeth. But in Ayurveda, they say we have given those 32 teeth to chew 32 times. Each morsel is supposed to be chewed 32 times. Okay, fine, I agree. You guys are all very busy. 28 times. How many of you chew even 15 times? Look at this.
Well,
We don't chew our
good
food.
tip. Yeah, absolutely, you're right. We don't chew our food. And in fact, last night, I would tell you, let me be honest, I tried having my last meal 2.5 hours before I went to sleep. And I felt so good in the morning. And also at the time I went to bed, you feel so light and just relaxed.
You know what people don't understand is like I said, it's not rocket science. If you just understand the basics of how your body functions, is that when you feed it, it works on digestion, digestion. So it has to digest the food, it has to break down the food. You eat, there are a lot of people who eat at like 11, 11:30 and then go to bed at 12. So the food that is in your stomach, your body also needs rest, right? So all your organs will start slowing down. So the food that is not completely digested, what happens to it? It just stays in your stomach and it rots. It ferments, which is why so many of us suffer with gas, acidity, indigestion, whatever you want to call it. So it's very, very simple. So when I say that you stop eating, shut your mouth at 8 o'clock, eat with your children, eat a family meal, fine, you are busy, make it 9 o'clock, make sure you go to bed at 11:30, saying that, I mean, even I don't go to bed sometimes at 11:30, but I make sure that even if I am peckish, I don't eat the wrong thing, Fine, if you feel hungry before going to bed, have some roasted makhanas. Easy to digest. Don't have a fruit. They say,
Olive.
no, high sugar.
Yeah.
No, you can do olives, yeah. They say you shouldn't have anything raw in the night, after sunset. They say no raw after 4, but I would say in India after 6, because the sun is still up in our country till 6. Because when the food is raw, you should eat it when your metabolism is high. So that's why they say your metabolism is at its highest in the morning, right? So you should first have something raw in the morning, whether it be a fruit, an avocado, vegetable juice. I prefer things in whole, but this generation is different, right? So yeah,
Right.
I've just blabbered so much.
No, no, not at all. So that is the exterior. Now let's talk about the interior of a woman. You know, I'm very fond of Urdu poetry. I self-write Urdu poetry. I just wrote 2 lines which got a lot of appreciation. We see the image and the clothes of a woman, and of course the success of a woman, but we don't see the pain and the struggle she went through to get there. So the 2 lines go like this कि महंगे लिबास, कीमती जेवर, ऊंची सैंडल, मुखौटों के पीछे की दुश्वारी पहचान न पाएं, और कामयाब औरतें कुछ इस अदा से मुस्कुराती हैं कि उनके दिल का असल हाल कोई जान ना पाए. Isn't it true? Isn't it true? I read a lot about successful women. I was reading about Indra Nooyi and so many women, and when they start to tell about the stories behind the image that they carry, that will really bring tears to your eyes. The way they have to leave their children at home and just go out and work, and so many other kind of stories. Shilpa, tell me, behind the success of a woman, like we see a beautiful you, great clothes, well poised and well turned out, but the person that is behind the image, the woman that is behind the exterior, is somebody who's gone through a lot of pain and struggle in life, and that is the real story of a woman. आपको ऐसा लगता है?
Truly, I think that's absolutely true. I just think that struggle is very important. Like Anurag Basu, a director that I've worked with, always says that you need that fire in the belly. I'm judging this show called Super Dancer. There are children from all over India that come to audition, but the ones that make it invariably are all the children from small towns who can't, whose parents can't afford to send them to a dance school. None of the children from the metros make it. It's not that they're not good. I just think that the struggle that they see from where they come from definitely fuels that passion. I don't know. I don't know if you're expecting a sob story from my side, but yes, I just think that there has been a fair share of struggle in my life, and I thank the Lord for all those things because it's made me who I am. And I sometimes look back today in retrospect and think that, oh my God, how did I get over this hurdle? And it just brings me back to that quote where they say that women are like tea bags. You only know how strong they are when you put them into hot water. So I'm a storm in the teacup.
And every woman must be, I've been a journalist for 13 years. For the past 2 years, I've been with Colors, the movie channel, which is Cineplex, and I have met thousands and thousands and thousands of women who are success stories, but they're single mothers. They never got the support of their father, they never got the support of their brother, they never ever got the support of their husbands because it's a patriarchal society. Our marriage system is such that a woman leaves her house, she leaves her relationships, she leaves her parents. In India, how it happens is a woman from Uttar Pradesh would be married to somebody in Madhya Pradesh. A woman from MP would be married to somebody in Delhi, so that she is far away from her real house, her maternal, paternal house, and she just becomes a visitor after she is married. So it's a very skewed kind of a situation in India where a woman is basically somebody else's property till she gets there. So would you like to say something about this concept of marriage, marrying a stranger?
Yeah, I think I have lots to say on marriage. But I just think that on a more serious note, it has a lot to do with conditioning. I just broached that with the press, where I think it comes from the sheer fact that we've been brought up in metros, but even as we were growing up, and I come from a matriarchal society, we're Bunts, Shettys, where women are already put in a very respected or a higher position. Till very recently, it would be the child would always take the mother's surname, not the father's, amongst us Bunts. So it's that kind of mindset that, or rather community that I've been brought up in. So I have been fairly lucky. We're two sisters, and my father never, my late father never ever wanted a boy. He encouraged and honed our skills and was really proud of us. My mother was the first working woman in the Bunt community. I was the first Bunt actress in the film industry. So yeah, there have been many firsts amongst us. But saying that, I think coming down to, even with my mom, she wanted to make sure that, I knew how to cook, the basics. Because someday I was going to get married, have a family of my own. But she never ever said that, you have to be subservient. Or you have to make sure that you balance your family. I think the words that we use are very, very important. Yeah. And this whole concept of, एक दिन लड़की को घर छोड़ के जाना है, what is the meaning of that? घर छोड़ के जाना है मतलब क्या? तो मतलब you're not going to, if she ever has, that's a huge issue that I have, because I really believe that when a marriage becomes like a, like a saddle, it'll never work. You have to still have a friendship, and I think that bedrock of friendship is what keeps a marriage alive. So with Raj and me, touchwood, we treat each other's parents like, it's my, you have to have that. And after my father passed away, it was Raj who said that, let your mom come and stay with us, as and when she wants. And I think that makes a big difference.
How nice.
Yeah, so, and I think the same way. And I think born and bred in a nuclear family, we also have this issue with living with in-laws.
Yeah, it's a big issue.
And I'm broaching it because we're talking about issues of marriage. I just think that you start to appreciate the in-laws when you have your child.
And a boy child.
No, but on a serious note. So I just think that somewhere there has to be this whole balancing act that you have to do. And life is good, as long as you look at it positively. There's always some way that you will,
But I have a fun thing to share with you, Shilpa. Though it's a very serious kind of a thing going on at a very dignified place, but there's a PJ that from our college days. There were boys sitting on one side and there were girls sitting on one side, and the boys said कि खुदा करे हसीनों के बाप मर जाएं, बहाना मौत का हो हम उनके घर जाएं. तो औरतों ने कहा मत बोल बाप होगा, तू भी एक दिन हसीनों का बाप होगा. It's a PJ, but it always works. And it always works. Okay, moving ahead. You were the producer of a film called Dishkyam. Though it did not do very well at the box office, but it certainly upped your profile. Tell me.
Really bad. Yeah, I think I will be very kind to me. अभी PJ से मुझे कुछ याद आया. बादाम खाने से इतनी अक्ल नहीं आती जितना धोखा और बुरी पिक्चर बनाने से.
Good one. It was so honest. Tell me, the people in the industry, they think production is men's forte and it is a mud ka kaam. Have you ever faced that kind of expectations and bias?
Actually, when we launched Dishkyam, I have to be honest, I thought I'll get into the foray of film production, but I fell pregnant. And then producing that child became more important to me than concentrating on the production. I mean, it was weird. So I have to give the credit or discredit of Dishkyam to my husband, because I really was not hands-on. And then I realized, I think being in front of the cameras is far easier than being behind. So there's such a gamut of stuff that you have to get into. I'm just not cut out for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not cut out for production.
No. The biggest production or the best production I've made is the Raj.
Right. And on 8th June you turned 42, and in India most people think that they associate the idea of beauty with youth and girls in their late teens and early 20s. Look at our film industry, barring a few actors like Vidya Balan and Tabu. It's very concentrated towards youth and early 20s and things like that. What do you have to say to women here who are in their 40s?
I really think that in this time and age, gosh, does age really matter? No, I think 40 is really like the new 20.
Yeah.
The 40-year-olds are not even looking 40.
Yeah.
Because they've got so much information thanks to Google
Yeah.
and Botox, which I think we should edit out of our lives. But No, I really think age is nothing but it's all in your mind. I feel like sometimes age sets in when you lose enthusiasm. So I would, if I don't have something to look forward to tomorrow, I feel I'll age. I mean, till now I feel very young at heart.
We must have something to look forward to. That is the magic mantra you just gave us. But tell me, with age, some things are inevitable. It also happens with men. You have illness, you have health issues. You were suffering.
You were going to say balding.
Huh? Balding. That is also
with age inevitable.
That is also a big issue. But again, like Botox, you have solutions for that as well. But tell me, in this fast-paced world, what advice would you give to those women who have a very hectic professional lives? Like you had this problem of weakening of the bones, popularly known as osteopenia, I guess that's the word?
Yeah, that's what the doctor told me. I had this nagging pain in my elbow, actually in the front of my elbow. So I went to him around 4 years ago, I think. Don't even remember, I think 4.5 years ago. And he said, I think you might have osteopenia, and he told me to do like a whole list of tests. I ran out of them.
Yeah?
I never saw him again.
What are you saying?
Yeah, I never saw him again. And the thing is, it's all in the mind. The minute you start believing, I really believe in the whole placebo effect. So I'm someone who has lived and suffered with cervical spondylosis. And I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd be able to do a Shirshasana. Because I had an injury between my C4 and my C5, C4 and C5 in my neck.
When did that happen?
That happened around 15 years ago. And that's why I took up yoga, to kind of heal my neck. And in that process, I got healed everywhere. And recently, I said, to hell with what people think. And I thought, maybe I'm a bit old, so my yoga teacher would come and I'd be like, I want to do the Shirshasana, but maybe, now I'm 42, I think I should really try, I think I'm pushing it, I don't need to prove a point to anyone. He was like, ab nahi to kab? And that one line just got me. He was like, you should give it a shot and try it. And I can very proudly say today I can do the Shirshasana without a wall. So there is something within us that is far, far stronger, and it's called the mind. The minute you make it up, it's stronger than your body. We have a will that we underestimate, especially women, with due respect to all the men in this room. I really think we underestimate the power of what we have within. Maybe because it's not been encouraged at some point. Maybe because you don't have that confidence within yourself to kind of let go of your fears. Maybe.
So how do you inculcate that kind of confidence?
So that's what I'm saying. So you have to understand that the mind is more powerful than your body. And if you put your heart into your mind, there's nothing in the world that you cannot achieve. And you take it from me in writing. I came from Chembur. I had no one from the film industry. Actors don't last out so long. I don't know how I'm sitting here and even doing this talk. But there is something that that is already predestined, of course. But you can change that course of destiny with your mind, with good karma, with great thoughts. And I'm a true believer of positive manifestations. I wouldn't have reached this position, this kind of happiness and gratitude that I feel today in this room filled with beautiful people, if not for me believing that I am very, very special and that I can overcome any obstacle. So I think every one of us has that within us. We just fail to recognize it, or maybe we ignore it.
Yes.
And that is the truth.
Yes. Yes, and as you know, a very famous Hollywood personality, you would tell me who said this, that turn your wounds into wisdom. Who said that? Turn your wounds into wisdom. Oprah Winfrey said that. And I keep reading a lot on these inspirational quotes for women, and one quote has really stuck with me, and it is that at any given point in time, you have the power to say, this is not how my story will end. I would suggest that keep reading a lot on inspirational quotes on women, and they really give a lot of power and a lot of courage to us, especially the women. And as they say, that if not here, then where? If not now, then when? And if not you, then who? And lastly, I would ask you, Shilpa, when your son's friends, Beyond's friends, call you, hi auntie, how do you feel?
I feel very happy. No, I have no problem. I'd actually have a problem if they didn't call me auntie. I'd be worried. My God. No, I think I really believe that these added, words that define a personality, it doesn't really matter to me. You can call me auntie, amma, grandmother. It really doesn't change who I am. And yeah, really, thank you so much for sitting and listening so calmly. I hope this is the end because I feel they're getting bored.
No, definitely not. It was a great conversation, and I and all of the women in this room certainly learned a lot of things from you, Shilpa. Thank you. Just keep going on because you're certainly one of the examples we have. Keep leading by example. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much.
As we move along, I would request Shweta Shaniji, we have to make a very important announcement. Please come on the dais with Shilpa alongside. The Millennium Divas, a community for women who are changing the world by scaling new heights of success through entrepreneurship. To make it happen, the Millennium Divas Fund is being launched here today, along with Project Hope and We For Me program. It's a Women Empower Women concept which we are launching here. Vishaka, can we have you on the stage as well, please? Please, thank you. Do we have to speak? Yes, so we would just want you to click on this website and launch this program as well.
Yes, so that I'm sure Shilpa Ji is going to do. No, you are our icon here, please. For everyone around here, I have to tell you, I think we all heard Shilpa Ji talk. I have spoken earlier on this dais, so I'm not going to take too much of your time, but I have to tell you about this fund. This is called the Millennium Divas Fund. And why this fund? Especially of, for and by women. Because as Shilpa Ji right here said, and very clearly so, we are what we are. But what we need to achieve is a simple sisterhood shout out. Because if no one else stands besides us, we should be sure that other women will. And like I was sitting on the first seat listening to what Shilpa Ji is saying. I've been seeing her website. I know that she's very active on social media, and because our job involves tracking people on social media, of course we know that she's very, very active. But the simple spark in her that shows us that she's out there holding fort, inspiring other women to say that I am like you. If I could do it, you can do it too, is phenomenal. We want more and more women to come up on the platform and say that I have done it. I want to share my story. I want to share my advice, my mentorship. I want to hold your hand. I want to give my money to other women who want to follow the same path that I did years ago. But I was alone. But my dear sister, you will not be. And hence, this fund only of, for, and by women, the Millennium Divas.
Do I also get funding?
Om Shri Ganeshaya.
Yes, and raise your hand. Where is Tapaswi? Please raise your hand. Bhavesh and the entire team. These are the people who are behind the website that you can see right now and the fund. And we are inviting more and more women and men to join us and join the bandwagon to help more urban women to join with their tech startups across India and more rural women. ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों से जितनी महिलाएं यहाँ पर उपस्थित हैं, हम उनको बताना चाहेंगे कि अब लगभग 10 लाख रुपए से लेकर 1 करोड़ रुपए तक आप जिस प्रकार बैंकों में जाकर फंडिंग करते हैं अपने आइडिया की, अपने प्रोडक्ट की, इसी प्रकार अब आप इस फंड के पास आकर पैसे मांग सकती हैं ताकि हम आपको सपोर्ट करें पैसों से, मार्केट लिंकेजेस से और आपको सिखाएं प्रशिक्षण के द्वारा ताकि आप अपने समाज के लिए, अपने परिवार के लिए और स्वयं अपने लिए बदलाव ला सकें।
We retain Vishaka on the stage, please. Thank you so much for being with us.